Don't know if we're live. All right, I think we're live. I think we are live. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Today is live number 6, I think. Pretty sure it's 6. But today we have a very heavy episode in terms of content. So I'm going to give it a couple minutes or seconds here because I know there's other things you probably want to do in your day. PAX's stream is it right after this, pretty much, in like an hour and a half. Try and keep this about an hour at the most. But we have a lot of content to get through. So let's give it a couple minutes. Today we're talking about DC Fandome. This was an event that just happened yesterday. It's essentially a event that DC hosted, obviously. Kind of like their own Comic-Con, all virtual. So this is the first time this has ever happened, and a lot of news came out of this. So tons and tons of topics to cover. I'm going to try and keep it as concise as I possibly can. I have notes about each single one, as well as in the description. A lot of these will have trailers or videos to them. I will be playing in this stream, and if you want to see the actual thing with all the sound and everything, make sure you go check that out down below. Let's see what we got. Might switch. I might make a executive decision to switch. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna see if I can switch to USB here versus Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is being a pain in the butt with this work from home. All right, maybe we'll get a little bit more better stream now, hopefully, fingers crossed. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about DC Fandome, and I have something very special. We're going to try and do this. We're going to play a little bit of music to start, and we're going to do... this. Hopefully now you can hear me. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. That was something that I tried for the very first time using Ecamm. There's a lot of things that I'm trying for the very first time, so I would love your feedback. If you are watching this on the replay or live with me, if you can let me know how this stream looks, sounds, if there's stuff you like, if you think I should try something different next time, let me know. I'm open to that feedback. And there might be a delay, maybe not. Okay. So yeah, I think we're going okay. All right, so let's first, I gotta bring up my notes, and I'm gonna play a little bit of background music here, see if I can have that a little bit lower. Found this like lo-fi beat type of thing. Try and play a little bit in the background. Try not to make it too distracting. They called this a space traveling track, which I thought sounded kind of cool. And then hopefully it kind of just is something interesting other than just me talking for the entire time. Archer's in the house. What's up? Be right back. Have to finish watching the trailers first. Yes, they are actually all linked down below in the description. I did that kind of preemptively if you did want to just click through each one. But you can also check it out on the replay if you want, exactly what I'm talking about and what time. Now, I will be trying to put the timestamps for a lot of what I'm talking about later after the fact once this is uploaded, as well as I might be taking certain segments out of this stream and uploading it just by itself. So if you miss anything, you can catch it either on replay or I might be doing the segments later. Haven't decided yet, but you can check it out there. Okay, so fully packed agenda. The first thing we're going to talk about is the Flash and Flashpoint. We're gonna put up these two babies right here. All right, so agenda number 1 is Flashpoint. Now, this is big news, I guess, somewhat big news, where these two concept art that kind of came out. Now, the top one is essentially the new suit, which has been confirmed as being built by Bruce Wayne / Batman. Now, they didn't necessarily specify which one built it. I can only assume Ben Affleck's because they announced that he's actually returning for the Flash movie. It'll be his sort of last performance, I think, as Batman. So I think that's where they're going to kind of wrap it up. He's probably going to have some kind of interaction. Flashpoint will happen. He's going to go back. Also, Michael Keaton is still confirmed to be appearing as Batman from the 1989 version. And in the bottom photo, which I think you can kind of see here, is it up? I can't see. Yes, it is up. I'm terrible at this pointing thing. This one, sorry. That one. Apparently, if you zoom in, that Batman has the yellow chest emblem of the 1989 Batman, kind of teasing that that's going to be Michael Keaton's Batman. So just a heads up there. Other than that, there really wasn't a ton of Flash news. This was more pre-DC Fandome that came out. Also, in addition to that, this is supposed to be, I guess, DCEU. It will be considered like Earth 1 or Earth Prime in terms of continuity, because Robert Pattinson's Batman is going to be more of an Earth 2 type of thing, I guess. We'll talk more about that when we get to it towards the end of the stream. So it's a teaser for you guys. So make sure you guys check this movie out. I'm super excited about it. It's going to be directed by the director of It Chapter 1 and 2. He's done a bunch of horror movies as well. So how he's going to integrate a lot of the storylines of The Flash should be pretty interesting. But other than that, that's really not a ton of news. I'm going to kind of get some of the lesser news things out of the way first, and then we'll go from there. So that was The Flash, or Flashpoint Paradox, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really have a name yet. Next up will be Titans Season 3. Now, if you have been subscribed to my channel for any amount of time, you will probably know that I've done a review for every single episode of Titans, both Season 1 and 2. My buddy Archer, we've talked about it a couple times. Now, Season 3, according to all reports, as well as anything that was on the DC Universe app, is being now done on HBO Max. So DC Universe is essentially dying as an app. I don't expect it to stay around long. They say it'll continue, but I highly doubt that. So we'll see about that. So in Titan Season 3, it's now been confirmed that Jason Todd, played by Kieran something rather, I don't know his full name, I apologize, will be turning into Red Hood. Now, this was kind of rumored a couple of months ago. Wasn't really confirmed, but now that it's actually confirmed, I kind of still don't care. I think they have a lot of other problems and things that they need to clean up first before we start worrying about Jason Todd and trying to make that full transformation, because they've got a lot of characters with a lot of problems, and Jason Todd is one that does have problems, but you already know where that's going, so it's not really a surprise. Plus, this guy kind of doesn't feel like he would fill out a Red Hood for me in terms of, like, I don't know, maybe he's just because he's really young. Maybe after a little while he can get a little bit more muscle on him, or like be a little bit bigger. I don't really know, but he doesn't come across as an intimidating Red Hood for me. He works as like a skinny, smallish Robin, but that's about it. I don't really see it as a Jason Todd, but that needs to come out of DC Fandome. Alright, moving right along. How long are we? We're 8 minutes in. We're 2 topics down. 8 minutes in. That's crazy. Alright, so what's next on the agenda? We've got Shazam 2. Now, Shazam 2 was kind of an interesting panel. They didn't really say much. They mostly just messed around. For some reason, Sinbad was there, and they kind of were like making this joke that he kept getting confused with Shazam or Kazam, and I didn't really understand what the joke was, but they essentially just revealed the title for Shazam 2, which will be Shazam Fury of the Gods. Now, I don't really know what the gods will be furious about, considering that he kind of already has the powers of various gods. And they kind of teased the caterpillar bad guy at the end of Shazam 1. So how that has to do with Fury of the Gods, I have no idea. I just hope this movie will be as fun as the last one. It had a lot of fun elements in the first one. I feel like that was the main thing that really stuck with me from Shazam. There wasn't anything that was like super mind-blowing other than it just being Big's version of a superhero. But I really hope that this one will be just as fun. And if it's this poster art, whatever you want to call it, as any indication, I think that it will be fun, or at least hope it is. Alright, now we're going to get into the fun stuff. This is the fun stuff from DC Fandome. Let me scroll this guy by. telling you not to forget to hit the like button, subscribe, as well as hit the notification bell, because we want to notify when I have new videos, as well as I have a new cinematic update every single Thursday. I usually post around 9 a.m., but if you're here, you're also going to be part of the lives, which will be happening every single Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, subjects will always be changing, but just so you kind of know the schedule, that's what's going to be happening. All right. Also, if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up button. I would greatly appreciate that. Am I lagging? Anybody out there in TV land? I'm not sure if I'm lagging or not. Sometimes it looks like I do, sometimes it looks like I don't. Maybe if I don't do a lot of motion? I don't know. I'm kind of watching myself be myself. I wonder if I change the settings on the camera. Is anybody watching this right now? I'm gonna quickly take a timeout. We're gonna play the DC Fandome thing again, but I'm going to quickly try and change a setting on my camera and hope this doesn't disconnect. So stay with me. Stay with me. Be right. I changed the setting just from, you still can't hear me. Why can't you hear me? Unmuted. Oh, you can't hear me. Okay, perfect. So I tried to change the setting from a Wi-Fi connection to a USB, since my computer, or my phone camera here is plugged into my computer. I don't know why it changed to Wi-Fi, but hopefully now it will not be laggy like it was kind of, at least on my end, a second ago. Let's go back to playing some of the fun sounds in the background. Turn this down. I gotta get one of those Stream Deck things. I think that some of this stuff would be a lot more fun if I had that Stream Deck. Probably not as like me looking down at my computer and clicking at the various things, and you guys would probably enjoy that as in terms of a show a lot more. But I don't know. It seems kind of loud. Let me know if the music's kind of loud. Okay, now we're actually going to get into the fun stuff. This is the stuff that I have videos for. So again, all of the videos for anything that I show you from here on in will be down in the description down below. You can check it out now, you can check it out after the replay, or after the stream, excuse me, whatever's easier for you. I will be playing them without the sound in this video. It's gonna be right here. I hate this thing, right here. This is a weird pose. You can screenshot this, whoever's watching. It's gonna be on this side in a minute. Without the audio. So you will be seeing it without the audio. If you want to check out the full thing, it's down in the description down below. Recommend checking out everything. I tried to do as much research ahead of time so you guys could just click it and make it easier. So let me know if everything works out okay. Now, we're going to go ahead and get into Wonder Woman 1984. So this was the supposed final trailer for Wonder Woman 1984. And it had a lot of interesting things that I was really looking forward to. I'm kind of surprised they revealed it, but at the same time, DC is not very good at keeping a lot of their own secrets when it comes to revealing things, such as what happens with Doomsday back when Batman v Superman came out. Now in this one, a lot of stuff that we've kind of seen before, but two most interesting points of information, and that is that the way that Steve Trevor returns, as well as something to do with the main villain, I guess, or main Wonder Woman villain, Cheetah, that we've never seen before on screen. So the first thing is that Steve Trevor looks like he's returning via some kind of like a, for lack of a better word, a wish system, which I think involves Pedro Pascal's character. So it seems like everybody sort of gets their deepest desire happening or fulfilled in some kind of way. So that's maybe how Steve Trevor comes back to life when he was killed in the previous film. Probably should have given you a spoiler if you haven't seen the first Wonder Woman. But if you haven't seen the first Wonder Woman by now, then I guess it's not really surprised if you've seen the trailer. But I forgot what Cheetah's real name is. I want to say it's not Barbara. It's irrelevant for now. She says it in the trailer. I don't remember. But essentially, Kristen Wiig will be playing Cheetah, which I kind of had not a great thought. Wasn't too excited about that, really. But based on what I've seen in terms of what her sort of final form, I guess, as Cheetah, which you'll see probably here in just a second in the trailer, it actually looks kind of cool. I'm not super mad at it. I'm glad that DC went that full route in showing Cheetah in her full form. See, there you go right there. They actually did the full thing. They didn't want to cop out in terms of just giving Kristen Wiig like a cheetah jacket and pants to wear. They actually went full out and made her as she's supposed to be, like a very cat character and like predator type. So I think that I'm very grateful that DC decided to go that route and not make it, oh, just let's make her badass, but with like maybe some like leopard print like tattoo and like leopard print or cheetah print rather jacket or whatever it may be. So that was the end of that trailer. Okay, we'll take that off. Archer's back. Holy crap, those trailers. Yeah, there's a lot of information. I'm trying to keep this into a short live because there was a lot of things that happened yesterday or within the past 24 hours. There's been a lot of videos on it, and like I was saying before, I don't know if you're here, I might be segmenting this live into separate individual videos about certain topics. Haven't decided yet, but I might be doing that just to kind of make things easier for people to view later, if you guys want to check that out. I bet you should change this over time like the fly. It kind of seems that way because I think you're talking about Cheetah. It seems that way because they have some kind of interaction early on. Obviously, as you saw it in like the lower the background slightly. Yes. Is that better? Let me know if that was better on the audio. It's my first time trying to do background music with talking, so it's not boring. Better. Okay, cool. Good to know. Okay, so yes, in terms of Cheetah, I think that it will be a gradual change, mainly because they have some kind of an altercation at like a government building or bank, it looked like. And then towards the end of that trailer, and when you play it back in the audio, she says, whatever your name is, you can't believe you, or what did you do, or something like that. So it kind of gives me the impression that she was going through kind of a transformation. It wasn't an all of a sudden thing, because she's like a nerd in the beginning, I think, and then whatever this wish fulfillment thing is happens, she sort of gets that predator type mentality or physicality, and then she will maybe get her final form as we get closer to the end when Wonder Woman gets her gold armor with the wings and everything. Still not sure what that's all about in terms of fighting Cheetah, because I think Wonder Woman's pretty powerful for the most part just by herself, but hopefully that'll all make more sense in the movie itself. Love the background music. Cool, good. It's called Space Traveling. It's like just like a lo-fi beat. I did a quick search based on the income stream earlier today. Don't know if you caught it. I think you were team replay on that one. But some kind of like a lo-fi beat that I was just looking for, and this one just happened to pop up. Okay, moving right along. Where are my notes? I should probably write these down physically instead of having it all on one screen on my computer. All right, so we went over Wonder Woman 1984. All right, so now we're going to talk about how far are we in? 20 minutes, and I still got like 6 topics to go. Okay, we're going to try and speed it up. Hopefully I don't talk too fast. We're going to talk about Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad, excuse me. This is James Gunn's Suicide Squad. So this one was just a sneak peek. It wasn't actually a trailer or anything like that. Sorry for all the flashes. It's just the way that the trailer is. But this movie looks both interesting and I'm not excited about it at all because the first Suicide Squad left such a bad taste in my mouth. I don't want to see it. But it's James Gunn, who's done several superhero franchises, including Guardians of the Galaxy. He was, I think, a producer or co-writer on Brightburn, which I have a cinematic relate for that, which you should go check out. So the guy knows a lot of good stuff in terms of movies. Trying to find my notes. Sorry, 1 second. It's also a lot of characters we haven't seen before or haven't seen on the big screen before. There's like Polka Dot Man, Weasel, Harley Quinn we've seen before. I forgot Idris Elba's character. He's kind of like Deadshot, but he's not Deadshot. Don't remember the name of it. Doesn't matter. We'll find out later. There's a bunch of other stuff on it already. I've had a full 24 hours to work on this, but this is what I got. So it looks super interesting. A lot of different characters we haven't seen before. I'm excited for certain characters coming back, like Harley Quinn, like Boomerang, who kind of got shafted in the first one. And King Shark I'm really excited about. But there's going to be some more Suicide Squad stuff in just a few minutes, if you guys stick around for that. About a video game, which kind of relates similarly to what I'm going to be talking about. But it's just a lot of characters that we haven't seen before, so James Gunn is really good at taking those ragtag groups and putting them together, and I kind of just trust him with it. My only thing that has me kind of worried and I can't figure out is it looks kind of like it's set in Vietnam or something like that, or like a war-ish movie. I don't know what war they're fighting, but it looks still kind of interesting with the explosions and stuff like that. That's the end of the video. Just take that off for now. But yeah, it looks like it's just got a lot of weird characters. Like John Cena's like some like comedian type of character, I think, where he just like wants to kill everybody no matter what and just exact his justice, kind of like a Black Adam, which is teasing coming up. I don't really, Michael Rooker's character, I don't really know what he does. A lot of these people I don't really know what their character is, although I'm surprised that like Joel Kinnaman came back for Rick Flag, because I think that he was one of the ones that got the most pandered, or like nobody liked it from the first one. The fact that he came back, I gotta give it to the guy. At least he came back for the role. But for the most part, I'm not really sure how it's gonna come across, but it still looks kind of fun to some aspect. James Gunn is the only thing that's really holding it all together for me. Let's see, let's go to the comments really quick. Listening or getting some food, always a good idea. I thought John Cena was the guy from Apocalypse. Well, not there, but the planet across from it. I don't know. He looks like he's just sort of some human guy with a chrome helmet to me. I don't really know what his character's name was. One of them's called Peacemaker. I don't know which one that is, but the guy who rides the machines with guns. I don't recall his name. One of them's Peacemaker, if that helps you. But am I interested? Sure. Do I want to see it in theaters? Not really, because of the bad taste the first Suicide Squad left with me. But I know that kind of wasn't just the director's fault. There was a lot of other factors. But as I keep saying, that particular Suicide Squad movie, although I don't like it, for some reason I keep coming back to it. I don't know if it's to hate on it. I don't know if it's just because it's just so bad I can't not watch it. But for some reason I watch it at least every couple months to a year. I always come back to it. I don't know why. Next up, we have a video game. How far are we in? Okay, we're good. We're doing good. We're doing okay on time. Up next, we have a video game. This one is going to be Gotham Knight. Gotham Knights, excuse me. Now, first off, this logo is amazing. Whoever designed this, good in my book. They are awesome. I love the way that they use the word Knights to sort of put on the bottom and make the point of the bat symbol. I thought that was a great idea. Now, this is a video game which is going to be post Batman's Arkham games, whatever you want to call it, the Arkham series, post Arkham Knight. So if you have not played Arkham Knight, some of this may not make sense, or you just may be confused or don't even care at all. I don't know. But essentially, Bruce Wayne, spoiler alert by the way, is dead. And so he's no longer Batman. And now it is up to Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing, and Red Hood to take up the mantle, more or less, of Batman and protect Gotham City from various criminals, including Mr. Freeze, which I saw in the gameplay trailer, and I'm guessing a bunch of other Batman villains. I don't know who's exactly in the game, but there was a gameplay trailer, which I didn't think was as interesting as this trailer. It just kind of looks like Arkham Knight gameplay with other characters. So if you know what I'm talking about there. But this trailer looks super cool. I love the graphics of it. The only thing that I hate about video games when they start showing me trailers like this one is because it's not gameplay footage, it looks super good. But when you play the game, for some reason, it just sort of takes a step back because obviously you can't put a lot of these sort of deep cinematic moments, these beautiful moments like this one here, into a video game and make it constantly like that. But for the most part, I think, whoops, I just bumped my camera, sorry. For the most part, it looks like an interesting game. I don't know how Barbara Gordon, because if I remember right, she was still Oracle in the video games, as far as I remember. So how this is gonna work out, I don't know. Also, I think, was Red Robin or Tim Drake in that game? I wanna say he was, or one of the Arkham games. Where he is in this, I don't know, because it looks like it's Damien, possibly, along with Dick and Barbara and Jason. So how it all is going to work out, again, I don't know. I probably will not play this video game unless there's a lot of hype behind it. But for the most part, I think I'm just kind of done with video games. But the only reason I even bought a PS4 was to play Arkham Knight. Now, if this is like one of those PS5 exclusives, I don't know, because it's going to be either single player or co-op. You can play with 2 at a time. So that part is kind of cool, but I'm mostly a single player person, not a big online or multiplayer. But as you can see in this trailer, it looks very much like the Arkham games and Arkham Knight especially. Anything else? Yeah, I'm not sure how Red Hood became part of the family in this. Because if you remember, if you have played Arkham Knight or played through the majority of it, the Arkham Knight basically is Jason Todd. I don't remember him turning to become like a good enough guy for Batman to trust him by the end of that game. I don't recall that at all. But maybe it's Tim Drake that could be Red Hood in this one. That's the only thing that kind of makes sense, I guess. Because if it was Jason Todd, it was too... it was just too quick of a turnaround. There's no way that he could have developed this relationship with Bruce post being basically brainwashed by the Joker in order for them to reconcile and these other 3 to trust him. At least that's my opinion. I don't know about you guys. And then another interesting thing about this trailer, and it's going to show it in a minute, it looks like, for some reason there's like a teleportation portals, I guess. I don't really understand that. I've never seen that within the Batman universe, at least for the Bat family. The motorcycle looks cool. What was I gonna say? There's Mr. Freeze. Batgirl looks pretty awesome. At the very end of this trailer, which you're gonna see in a second, is the Court of Owls. So how that's going to play into the narrative, because that's mainly a Batman thing, from what I remember, the Court of Owls storyline. I don't know how that really affected the rest of the team or the Bat family. I don't really know. Maybe it's just going to be like a playable mission. I hope it's not the main story, because it doesn't really make sense as to how it fits in. A lot of this game I feel like I haven't figured out yet, but maybe it's just been a really long time since I played the Arkham games, so that could be my own thing. Let's go back to the comments really quick while this trailer finishes out. I've watched Suicide Squad more than once. I tend to watch it in pieces. It's difficult to watch the whole thing in one sit-down. In one sitting, I should say. Let's turn that off for now. It's a sequel. I think you're talking about Gotham Knights. Yes, it's a sequel as far as I can tell, because at the end of, again, this is a spoiler, at the end of Arkham Knight, essentially Batman, Bruce Wayne, gets exposed as being Batman and decides to basically blow up the manor. And I guess that's where the red alert to the rest of the team gets sent out saying that he's no longer alive or what have you. And Red Hood cares now. That's exactly what I was saying. It makes no sense. It was at the end, it just shoehorned. That's Tim Drake. I think you're talking about the Robin character, which, I mean, I guess that makes sense. If it's Robin, that's Tim Drake. But he looked bigger in the previous games, because you could play him. And he was kind of like baldish and had like the hood and stuff. But this one just looks smaller and scrawnier, so that's why I thought it was kind of Damien, but it makes sense if it's Tim Drake. I think you meant Tim is Robin. Okay, Tim can be Robin. Chases on the bikes. Yes, the bikes look like it might be the most interesting part. We've got Consult the Blind Guys in the house. What's up, Andrew? How you doing, man? Welcome. Yes, of course. Okay, so we're gonna move right along. We're at 30 minutes already. Where's the past 30 minutes gone? I don't know, but we're gonna move right along because we still have like 4 topics to cover, and I want to get this done by the time Paximus' stream is up. But really quick, before we move on to the next thing, the ticker tape. Don't forget to like this video, comment on this video if you're a team replay or not. If you're here live, leave me a comment, doesn't really matter. And hit the subscribe, and also hit the bell notification because that's the only way you'll know when I have a new video, which will be such things as you can see here, Cinematic Relate every single Thursday. And we also, if you're here live, live every Sunday at 7 p.m. like right now. So make sure you guys check those out. And we are going to, and I'm going to throw up the subscribe button just because I miss it being there. All right. I hope they don't do tank battles. Yes, tank battles were very prevalent in the Arkham game, or at least Arkham Knight, and I didn't really like that. Too much of that. Bruh. Yes, bruh. Hashtag bruh. That's the income stream. I like to call it like the call of honor, or like the way we kind of greet each other. Rhino Dog. What's up, Brian? He's in the house. Bro, what? Oh, he had me excited. I thought Samson was here. If Samson comes in, I have to download that audio because I always send him the what in the chats whenever I see him on anybody's live stream. All right, so moving right along into the next topic, we are going to be talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League, the Snyder Cut that there was a massive campaign for this one. This one, there's a lot of scenes, dark side right there, as you can see, that will be showing in this Snyder Cut that were not previously there before, obviously, as Snyder did have to depart due to the loss of his daughter, and Joss Whedon took over, which this became a totally different movie. Now, if you look at a lot of the scenes that were released for this, there's a track for it. I don't remember. It's like a 70s style. This will be released on HBO Max, by the way, or at least to start. I'll get to that in a second. But what's interesting is how much new footage. I almost cut my own head off there with the video. The amount of new footage that was just shown in this little bit. Some of it we've kind of seen as like deleted scenes before, but there is a lot of new stuff, and based on the interview that Zack Snyder had, there's going to be a lot of new stuff, especially concerning Darkseid, the Flash, and Cyborg. I think those are the big 3 things. Oh, and Black Suit Superman. We're going to get some Black Suit Superman, which I am super excited for that. More Henry Cavill, the better, in my opinion. So if we can get more of his involvement, because I think they said like he had 40 lines or something like that between BVS and Justice League. The guy didn't really get to talk, except for when he was in Man of Steel. So for the most part, hopefully we're going to get more of him as well. But having some more of Flash and Cyborg, that will massively flesh out a lot of what this movie has to offer. It's going to be a completely different movie. It's going to feel like a complete movie. Look how awesome that Batman scene is. It's going to feel like a complete movie, whereas Justice League felt like a jumbled mess a lot of the times. So I'm just hoping that this one will feel like the true Zack Snyder movie that we all really wanted to see. I like a lot of Zack Snyder's work. So the fact that he even gets the opportunity to come back, which almost rarely never happens to these types of things, is super awesome. I think that scene reminds me, that one right there with Steppenwolf, kind of looks like IROC from Ready Player One, which Archer did not like. Let's put that for the point. I have to just give him crap for that one. But look at how awesome this scene is. Like, it's like they're shooting a laser at the mother box, and then Cyborg sees his dad, and like there's like some emotion there, which was completely devoid of in the original cut. So the fact that we're gonna get some new stuff is just super awesome, and I can't wait for this. Now, in terms of like big news for this, I don't know if this has volume. Is this playing at volume? Oh, that's just the track. Sorry. Where's I going with this? Oh, so what's interesting about Justice League is that it's going to be released on HBO Max, but it's going to be in can you see my hand? 4 parts. It's going to be 4 one-hour parts, so it's going to be a total of 4 hours of Justice League. And I think the original movie's like pushed into 3. Now the fact that there's that much content is insane, but Zack Snyder said this might not be just a HBO Max exclusive type of thing, but they were working on another deal or a bigger deal where it could be released possibly by itself. That I'm much more excited about. I don't have to feel obligated to watch HBO Max, although I probably will try and use a free trial of something of some sort just to watch it at least the first time, and then I'll own it after that. I don't mind buying it if I want to actually see it, because I actually do want to support this. I don't want to just have that pay monthly type of deal for something that I most likely won't watch. I have enough platforms that I'm watching on the regular. Good seeing Batfleck, who's coming back if you guys missed that one. What else we got? So let's go to the comments really quick while this trailer finishes out. Only on HBO Max for now. That should have a asterisk, according to Zack Snyder anyway. Let's go to the comments really quick. I don't know where I left off. Going to be 4 hours. Yes, 4 one-hour segments. I don't know what the time between each one being released will be, but the fact that it's going to be a 4-hour cut of this movie versus I think it was like 2 and change. I don't know how long, close to 3 was for the original one. That had me really excited because a lot of people were saying, oh, it's only going to be an extra 30 minutes of cut, whatever. No, this guy actually has a full movie that we didn't get to experience. That's what makes it so exciting. Lenny's in the house. What's up, Lenny? Not really a Snyder fan. Interested to see where it goes. I'm gonna take this graphic away. Excited to see where it goes. Yeah, I mean, Zack Snyder is very divisive in a lot of people. Either you love it or you hate it. And I don't think he's really had that work where it's like, okay, this is like one where everybody loves for whatever reason. I think the closest he came to that was maybe 300, but that's maybe because it was just such a different thing from what anybody had seen before, that plus all the dudes with their abs, all the ladies loved that, and then all the dudes loved it because of how brutal and just badass it was. So it was kind of a double-edged sword in his best movie there. Sucker Punch was basically the opposite, whereas the eye candy for the guys, and then for the girls, I guess there was a story. I don't really remember the story of Sucker Punch, but by the way, hey everyone, hey Lenny. Didn't like is a strong phrase. I don't know if I said didn't like or somebody else said didn't like. House, there you go. Thank you for the extra boost there, Andrew. I appreciate you. Extended BVS was good. Yes, the Ultimate Edition is the only edition you should watch on BVS. Don't watch the regular version. Sucker Punch was disappointing. It was, but I think that he was trying to go a little too deep story and just, again, giving us the eye candy of the girls, that it just wasn't really a big draw to a lot of people. Tried watching it the other day. Didn't like was about me. Ready Player One. You said you didn't like it, or you appreciate it for what it was. If you want to use more in general language, both count. I mostly just don't like Sucker Punch. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like Sucker Punch. I think that was, if you had to say Zack Snyder's weakest, for the most part, people probably would say Sucker Punch was that one. Appreciate you, Andrew. Appreciate you. Don't remember. Okay. All right, so we're going to move on to the next thing because we're 40 minutes in and we still have 1, 2, 3 topics to go. We are narrowing it down. Okay, so the next topic we're going to get to will be The Rock and Black Adam. Now, this is our first look. Now, this was extremely hyped for DC Fandome. I think they put a little bit too much into this because all they kind of gave us was The Rock answering questions on a green screen, and like the graphics that kind of look like it's God of War. At least that was what I got from it. It's basically the story of Black Adam, which does look cool. I will give it to them. But this has been kind of in development hell for a long time. Kind of like what I think Deadpool went through, excuse me. So how this will play out will be interesting. With The Rock being sort of that badass character that's going to be taking justice more or less into his own hands. The only thing that got me most excited was there was part of the interview where he was sort of talking about the different characters he would be like coming after. He referenced the Flash, Superman, Shazam, and I felt like that's kind of weird that it looks like it says the Black Adam on Black Adam. I think that was the most exciting part of the interview, but for the most part, it was just a bunch of concept images. Because they haven't gotten to start actually filming, I think they're supposed to start filming this summer or like by September, which obviously that's upcoming. So with the pandemic, obviously that didn't really work out. So it's mainly just concept stuff, but we've kind of seen concept stuff for the past few years with people like Boss Logic doing it. A couple of other great artists who have contributed to making The Rock look like Black Adam. So they didn't really bring much for me. But I don't really know if it's a character that I'm excited to see. I think the idea behind Black Adam is great, but the character itself, I kind of felt like it was just like a Sinestro ripoff, if anything. That like the character that wants to do kind of like that anti-hero stuff. But for the most part, I think hopefully it'll be okay. I don't know. The Rock, I feel like, was on such a high, and now some of his movies are starting to get a little bit lower, not being so great. Like Rampage, Skyscraper was so-so. What's the other one? His Fast and Furious spinoff was just like out of left field. Not out of left field, it was just over the top. And I feel like a lot of what we see in those movies is what we're gonna get here. So I won't be that surprised in terms of what we're gonna get for Black Adam. They're really gonna have to come with something great, in my opinion, in order for them to get that to work. The animated movie with Black Adam isn't terrible. Is that the Shazam movie? Because there was a Shazam Superman one that I think had Black Adam. I don't know if Black Adam had a standalone one. If he did, I'll look it up. Oh shit, I pissed off Lenny. Can't mock the Fast and the Furious. Okay, the Fast and the Furious, this is a totally different off-topic thing. The Fast and Furious movies are great for what they are. They are massive popcorn movies. They're great successes. I think I own every single Fast and Furious movie. I love them for what they are. But after a certain point, it just got so over the top that if they don't go to space by number 10, which is like 2 movies away, I'm gonna be really disappointed. Jumanji was good. Yes, I will agree the Jumanji movies are good. I like the first one more than the second one just because The Rock doing an impression of Danny DeVito was funny, but it was just like, after a while, it kind of got old. Although Kevin Hart doing Danny Glover, that was a lot funnier. One-legged diehard whack though. Yes, he was whack as one-legged diehard, I agree. That was Skyscraper. Aurelia says hi. Hi, how are you? Welcome. We're doing a lot of information dump, so if you have missed it, I know all the links will be for any of the trailers that I show down in the description down below. If you're watching this on replay, I will be trying to put the timestamps about a lot of what I'm talking about, as well as possibly segmenting and taking out some of these pieces and putting them in their own separate videos. So if you guys want to check those out, if you missed the live stream or anything like that, make sure you guys check out those videos when we get there. Do have all the Fast and Furious. They're a guilty pleasure for a lot of people. Okay, moving on. 2 to go. 2 to go. We're gonna get there. Been going for 45 minutes. Okay. We're gonna get to the end of this before PAX's stream. Where was I? I just did Black Adam. Okay, so we're gonna do. Now this is back to another video game. This is Suicide Squad. It doesn't say it in this picture that I found, but all the other ones were kind of crap. It's called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. This is a video game. Now, this one looks cool. It gives me some certain vibes that I'm going to talk about in a second. but I kind of run into that issue of gameplay trailer versus actual, well, gameplay, I guess, versus trailer. But the trailer looks super awesome. This one is also from the creators of the Arkham games, supposedly, and it has some beautiful animation. Probably one of the most top-notch animations I've ever seen. My concern about this game is what it will be, because we've only got a trailer for it and not gameplay. Now, what I mean by that is it's going to show you in a second. It's a really long trailer. It's like 4 or 5 minutes. They took their time getting to the point. But essentially, like, the city's in chaos and the Suicide Squad is being sent to kill the Justice League for reasons unknown. Now, they are going to play this in one of 2 ways, in my opinion. They're going to do it in an Injustice style, where it's going to be kind of a one-on-one fight or something along those lines in terms of how the game will actually be played. The second thing that they could do is, I guess, second/third, is that the gameplay will be either similar to Left 4 Dead, because there are 4 characters that they show here: Harley Quinn, Deadshot, King Shark, and Boomerang. Yes, Boomerang. There it is. Okay, so it looks cool. They sound awesome. I get Left 4 Dead vibes, but the DC version, which I think that would be really awesome. Having you go through these hordes of various sort of smaller characters. They'll show them fighting these little guys that keep popping up in this trailer. It'd be cool if you fought through like various hordes of them getting across the city to what would essentially be the big boss of the Justice League. So Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, you name it. I think that would be really cool. But I also think that they'll most likely go into the route of, and this is probably what I'm thinking they'll do, into like the Marvel's, the new Avengers game that recently came out, and like the Ultimate Alliance games, if you guys have ever played those. It's basically like 4 characters all on the same screen that travel through a map together and fight various enemies and things like that. I hope it's not the Ultimate Alliance style. I wasn't that big a fan of those games because they relied so heavily on you having to switch and like detracting. It would be very difficult to play single player. This one will most likely be a co-op of various kinds. I think up to 4, I would guess, based on what they look like. But the trailer itself looks awesome. I just don't know what to expect from the gameplay. It's just, see, here's kind of where I get those Left 4 Dead vibes. That all 4 of them just kind of show up at the same time. Let's let it play for a second. Some snarky remarks back and forth, blah, 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 blah. Again, I don't know if I mentioned this in this segment, but all of the trailers for this stream will be down in the description down below if you want to watch it in its full screen, full volume glory. And there is Superman. So, again, this is what they are saying is like they're the one that they have to go and kill, more or less. So this will be the final boss, and it looks like he's being controlled possibly by Brainiac based on what we saw at the very beginning of the trailer. Again, this is all guesses, but the animation is just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Like, just the detail that's in this is probably one of the best I've seen in video games. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. That's the full title. Could be interesting. Could be a fun game. I'll probably wait to hear some more word of mouth stuff about it before I actually look into purchasing it or playing it. But that's just my own caveat stuff. What else we got going on here? Lenny, the fact that they might go to space is what makes those movies great. They started off stealing DVDs. Yeah, they started stealing off DVD players. And hopefully they'll make it to space after sending cars from building to building and doing whatever ridiculous stuff. I kind of want them to cross over with Mission Impossible. I don't think that that would be completely impossible, no pun intended, but I think that would be a lot of fun, just watching Tom Cruise with his arm pumps trying to race a car or something. I think that would be a lot of fun. Trailer looks amazing. Yeah, I was mentioning before is that the gameplay, I keep saying gameplay. The trailers for a lot of the video games, like I talked about Gotham Knight, I don't know if you were here earlier, They look absolutely phenomenal. The gameplay itself, I feel like, is where it starts, because they set this such high expectation and get to spend so much time making these cinematic portions, that the actual gameplay falters a little bit, and I kind of lose that feeling of being immersed, I guess is the best word, in this world. That's just my own opinion, but just a stickler, I guess. All right. I gotta cross all of that stuff. That's good. Okay, hold on. What is this? I don't know what this spam text message that just came in was. Sorry. Okay. Now we are going to we're at 50 minutes. Thank you for sticking with me through this stream. If you've been here the whole time, if you're on the replay, make sure you leave a hashtag team replay. I would greatly appreciate that. Also, make sure you subscribe. We'll flash it up there. Subscribe. I can never point at these things. I'm terrible at this. Subscribe. Okay. So, also make sure we're getting to the big portion, the big meat of this thing. So don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe, as well as hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of any videos that I have upcoming or will be releasing. I do a cinematically late every single Thursday. It usually gets released right around 9 a.m. Eastern. And if you're here live, you are aware that I do a live every single Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you guys don't miss out on any of that fun content. Now, the meat and potatoes of why I'm here, the most talked about thing that happened at DC Fandome. Can anybody guess? Anybody in the chat? Anybody guess? It's been all over. Nobody's talking. So, it's the Batman. Yes. So we were talking about Robert Pattinson's Batman. I did a little bit of I knocked the camera again. I keep doing that with my foot. I talked a little bit about this on Twitter, kind of. But this movie, I don't know how to say this. So this movie is something that I kind of don't want to happen. I didn't have really much belief in it to begin with. But this trailer, I think, has changed my mind. Now I'm going to play it in the background. Try not to be too distracted. If you are too distracted, the links are down below for you to go watch the trailer in its full glory. But this is our first look at our Pats' Batman. Our Bats, as I like to call him. So this has to be one of the most surprising things for me. Now, there's a lot of information about what we get to see, as well as what's soon to be coming out. Now, this movie, first of all, looks fantastic. I don't really know. I'm kind of just so excited to talk about it. So, based on what Matt Reeves, the director, has said, the footage that we see in this trailer is only about 25%, with only about 25% of the movie shot. Now, we see a lot of stuff in this trailer, and hold on, we gotta wait for it. We gotta wait for the reveal. Hold on. Where's my finger pointing? Where's my finger pointing? There's a reveal. Hold on, wait for it. Wait for it. There we go. I'm sorry, but this looks really cool. I had zero faith in Robert Pattinson's Batman, and this kind of sold me on it. Like, we got a teaser a couple, I think it was months ago, early in the year, and we got some really good shots, or not some really good shots, but this one has beautiful imagery. Just like the action in it looks so awesome, and it looks like if Seven, apparently that's Colin Farrell's Penguin. I don't really see him in there. Batman fighting in a cage with a bunch of cops versus Selina in a couple fights. He takes this one dude down at some point. I don't know if we'd already played it. This part here is badass. We're just going to take a moment to acknowledge how physical and like angry this Batman is. And I love it. This actually looks kind of like a cutscene from the Arkham games. I love the armor. I wasn't really sold on it. That shot looks straight out of a comic book when he's flying up the stairs. But I love it. Like, I was really surprised. I didn't have any faith in it. And so, where was I going? I got distracted watching the trailer on the side. I'm sorry. It's just so intriguing. So this is supposed to be like an Earth 2, as far as we know. There is no Joker, at least that we are aware of. This is more, not less than an Elseworld story, but it's going to be, whoops, I took away the wrong thing. It's very much a standalone thing. So it's not going to have, as far as we know, any connection with the DC EU Batmans, with the Flashpoint Paradox movie that I talked about at the beginning of the stream. None of that stuff that we know of. But it's got excellent villains in it. I'm a massive fan of the Riddler. He's going to be a part of it. Super excited about that. The part that I think is most exciting are the suit, because it looks like an Arkham. It looks practical. The pieces move, as opposed to what I think they were doing with the Dark Knight suit. If you remember from that movie, he's like, I need plates in order to move and have flexibility because I need to be able to move my neck and all that stuff. And Lucius Fox was like, okay, and we did it. That just kind of looked like separate plates on each individual part of his body. Whereas this one, it looks like it's actual armor that interlocks and makes sense for mobility and protection. So that looks like it's really cool. Straight out of the Arkham game stuff. I was just blown away with that reveal that they even showed in suit Robert Pattinson, like with that scene where he comes. We'll play it again. This suit, it's too good. We have to play it again. Whoops, wrong trailer. Where was I going with this? The suit is it just looks amazing, and I think that is probably one of my favorite things about this. I said about the villains. Oh, it kind of looks like Seven, and I think that's what has me so excited about it as well. Is it looks like that dark and gritty Batman that everybody always says, I want my Batman dark and gritty. But for some reason they can never get that feel. I got the dark and gritty tone immediately from this movie. It looks like Seven in terms of like the heavy rain, and that's like the overall tone and like palette of the actual movie. Sorry if I'm getting distracted again. I'm trying not to watch the screen where it's playing the trailer. But yeah, it just looks like it's dark and gritty, and I think that is probably one of the aspects that everybody has wanted. Now, a lot of people thought that this movie was going to be based off of the Batman comics, either like Long Halloween or what's the other one? Not kind of like a Year One or Earth 2 Batman story, but apparently it's based off of the Batman story called Batman Ego. Now, I have not read this comic, but I did look it up. I will be reading it probably the next couple days. So I might make a video on that specifically. So make sure you check that out if you get a chance to, if you're a Batman fan, or if you have read that comic, let me know. I'd love to know your opinion on it. But yeah, it just looks amazing. I like this Selena Kyle, how she's not full-on Catwoman. She kind of has like that beanie mask with like the ears kind of thing to it. It looks a lot more unique. We get a lot of Riddler nods, which I think is super cool. One of my favorite villains. And the fighting just looks brutal, and he looks like he's just pissed off, wanting to kick some ass, and he looks like he's doing it, which I think is, it just looks like a video game. It looks too good. I feel like this trailer looks too good, and that's why I'm kind of cautiously optimistic still, but I'm way more optimistic than I was when that first suit reveal trailer came out. So there's that point there. But I'm super excited for this movie. It just looks absolutely phenomenal. Here comes this amazing. I just love this fight. He's just so angry. He just gets so angry. It reminds me of the Death. I don't know if anybody has played the Arkham games, but there was a Deathstroke fight in, I want to say it was Arkham City. There was like a cutscene that fight very much looked like right there, when he's fighting that random dude. But it just looks awesome. That part of going up the stairs just looks like it's cut straight from a comic book. I'm blown away by the trailer. I didn't expect it to look this good at all. Still a little bit concerned about some things in terms of Bruce Wayne himself and how he looks. Kind of looks a little emo still. I don't really fully believe that, but I think the suit gave me enough that I could be like, okay, I can believe it. There was something else. We didn't see Alfred. That just looks like kind of emo to me. I don't know why. It looks kind of like the Crow a little bit, just a tiny bit. And then we get the Riddler nod there at the end with the question marks. I can't wait. Currently in production, yes. Okay, let's go over the comments and see. I'm like moving myself off screen here. Love the books. Bruh. Was listening to Superfans this morning. Yes, I am working my way through Superfans at the moment. Good friend Pat Flynn, as I think just about everybody in the room probably is familiar with. But yeah, super awesome. Rhino Dog, I like the preview for it. Yes, I do too. Super excited. Again, I had zero faith in this movie. Like, negative almost, because I didn't like the casting. I didn't like some of the different things that they were talking about doing. I wasn't over the moon about a lot of the, like not the motorcycle, the car, although it is a muscle car, which I'm a fan of that. I wasn't a super big fan of that. And like the suit in general, but seeing it on screen, seeing it move, seeing somebody in it in motion, it just looks fantastic in context. Because the suit reveal was just him on like a screen, like a blank backdrop, so that kind of didn't really count. But seeing it in context is awesome. Hey, we made it past the hour mark. Woohoo! First ever stream that's been over an hour. Something that I never thought I could accomplish. It is 8:01 p.m. my time. Quarantine fam in the house. Yes, thank you all for showing up. This was one that I tried to prepare for as much as possible. There was some things I'm sure were just like, what is this guy talking about? I don't care about this stuff. But thank you for coming and supporting me. I greatly appreciate it. That's really all the stuff that I really wanted to cover. A lot of information. Again, I might be segmenting some of these topics for separate videos if you guys want to check that out. All of the links to a lot of the videos that I showed are down in the description down below right now, so you can check them out. If you wanted to, if you were thinking rather, I really liked how that looked. I would love to see you obviously blown up and listen to it. You certainly can. They are down below. If you're Team Replay, I'm going to be trying to put the timestamps down below for you guys to check out those if you do want to come back, or like I said before, probably be segmenting or taking out pieces of this and posting them as their own video. But really that's all I have, all my thoughts. I didn't want to call this a live reaction because I watched all of these as they were coming out. So I just felt like that was lying to you. So I just wanted to go over and kind of give you the highlights if you're not big on the news for it. It takes time, get used to it in no time. Yeah, I'm still trying to play the getting used to live stream stuff. So, oops, I just took it away. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Doing my best to keep stream close to an hour. I usually stream for hours and hours. Yeah, my streams, I try to push as long as possible, or at least get as much information as possible. I usually benchmark around 30 to 45, but this is definitely my longest. And it makes sense because there was a lot of topics to cover. As I mentioned before, don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already. I would greatly appreciate that. If you're watching this on replay or live with me, I would greatly appreciate that. Also hit subscribe, as I do have new videos all the time, as well as the bell notification to make sure you don't miss out on those videos, such as Cinematic Relate, which happens every single Thursday, usually posted around 9 a.m. Eastern time, as well as every Sunday I am live. Just like you're watching here, if you are here with me live, if you're on replay, then you'll see it later. But I do have those all the time. In case you're curious, Cinematic Relate is basically just a series where I talk about movies or shows or whatever that I may have missed for whatever reason. Could be missed it in theaters or just haven't gotten around to watching it. Make sure you check out that series. My last one was Brightburn. My next one, I don't know what I'm doing yet. Just a couple there. Short 1 minute from those in stream currently. Short 1 minute. Short one like. I can't read. From those in stream currently. Well, if you are here and watching, if you could leave a like, great. Don't worry, I appreciate you. Or if you're watching a replay, I'd appreciate it. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you guys so much if you're here with me live. I do appreciate the support. If you guys ever want to suggest anything for me to talk about in terms of on live, on Cinematic Relate, whatever the case may be, if you're like, I love this movie so much, I wish someone would give a little bit more light, I guess, or whatever the case may be, hit me up, whether it be on my channel or any of my social medias. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all with the same handles, Aaron Waller YT. I would love to connect with you there if you were not able to already. Yeah, I think that's all I have for now. I know it's a lot of information, but also before you guys go, if you're here live, make sure you check out Paximus Enterprises. He is doing a live stream in the next, I would guess, 20 to 30 minutes. He does studying live. He calls it studying, but really you can do whatever you want. Hang out, listen to some chill tunes, kind of like this lo-fi beat that I have in the background, if you can hear that. Make sure you guys check that out. Tons of fun. Listen, have some good conversation, just hang out. Also be sure to check out Hey Archer's channel, Andrew's Consult the Blind Guy. Aurelia's got some really good stuff on her channel for productivity. I watched hers earlier, that was really good. And who else? Who else was in the room? Rhino Dog has his 318 project on podcast platforms. If you guys want to check that out, I think I plugged about everybody in the room. If I missed you, Lenny has, for those with good taste, awesome channel that just started. They're about 2 videos in, hoping for the next one soon. Hope to listen to that. I think there was a big UFC thing you guys watched, following you on Instagram this past weekend. You'll be doing some X-Men stuff, which I'm really excited for that stuff. But yeah, I think I plugged everybody in the room. If I missed you, or if you're on replay, it's good to see you. But other than that, that's all I have for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I hope to see you guys either in the next live, Cinemaculate, or my next video in general. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.